today I'm going to give you a tour of like the whole garden and tell you what it's like for my guinea pigs to live here. G'day guys, I'm AJ and welcome to Good Films. Now we're just going to have a tour of the entire garden. This is the first cage that I'm dealing with. We're probably not going to see the guinea pigs that much today because it is raining. This is the first cage that I have. Hope you can see it properly. This is the number one main cage because it's completely fox-proof. All I have to do is close this thing and there is no way a fox could possibly get in here. So, and what the guinea pigs do, they're trained, so they run around and eat all the grass they want at daytime, and then at 5 p.m. they're trained to come to this cage when I tap it, because I know that means food, and I close this door. And then, at about 7 a.m. I'll get them up. I'll open this cage and I'll train them a bit to come to me so they get used to humans. This is where I train them, right here. So I'll be sitting here, there'll be a few pieces of apple or something, whatever I have at the time. They'll come up to me and I'll give it to them so they can get used to it. So that over there is cage number one, their main cage, because it's fox-proof. And this is a cage where 2 guinea pigs would be comfortable to sleep in. Like, there could be 1 guinea pig there, 1 guinea pig there. Really, if you look at it, if they were cuddly guinea pigs, 5 guinea pigs could just go in this bit here alone. But of course they'd be squishy to get out of, so maybe like if you really wanted to squeeze them in, 5 guinea pigs could go on top, 5 guinea pigs could go on the bottom. But obviously I'm not going to do that because I only have 2 guinea pigs at the moment. I want to get some more though. And then we got the second cage here. This cage can be fox-proof if I simply give it a bottom, because if it doesn't have a bottom, then the fox can simply dig under it. Now, but once I do give it a bottom, and I can just put it here so it doesn't kill the grass, and then boom, it's fox-proof. So this one can be fox-proof, but it's not at the moment, because it doesn't need to be, because it's just another cage for right now. Guinea pigs aren't using it because they only have 2. So that's the possible, can be fox-proof cage number 2 that it can be used. And this is also this cage, it can be fox-proof, except that the fox could probably dig under it. So if I put something under it so the fox couldn't dig under it, then sure, but I probably wouldn't do that because this is a pretty daytime cage. As you can see, they would run under it here and then they could lie around, do whatever they want in here. But that cave was mainly used before we had bushes. Now the guinea pigs mainly use the bushes for that sort of thing. And the tunnels and that sort of thing. So that there is cage number 3. You're probably wondering how I train my guinea pigs. My very first guinea pig, which was Lucy here, and Silky, they were the very first guinea pigs that I trained. And what happened was we had a gate back then. You know, they had boundaries that they could keep to. Of course, sometimes there were holes in the gate, which Silky was a bit cheeky about. But she wasn't really get out of those holes because she, wanted to escape. It was more just like, what's in here, you know? Then once she got out of there, she wanted to go back into her natural habitat. So, the guinea pigs don't really normally want to escape out of the yard, now that there isn't a fence. So that's how I first trained my first guinea pigs, but you're probably wondering, how would I train this generation of guinea pigs? How would that work? Do I have the material? Is that the right way to train them? Well, I'm about to tell you. So if I got guinea pigs now, like 2 new guinea pigs, especially if they were babies, then the first thing I would do is introduce them to my 2 guinea pigs that I have now, Squeak and Chocolate Bullet. And I would try and get them a relationship with those 2 so they were like the mum, the the role model so that they would follow them around, so they would kind of do what they would do, and so they would, what's the word, they would, you know, they wouldn't be rebellious and not do what they do, you know, they would follow them, that's the word, follow them. And so they would be trained as they're trained. If they're a bit of rebel, like Caramel was here, then I've got a backup for that too. I'm also going to make it bit by bit, okay? So instead of just laying them out on the garden the second day that they're here, I'm going to let them go in the playpen first, okay? That's like, so step 1, they sleep in the cage. Step 2, in the morning, they go into the playpen. Step, the next day, or next week, depending on how they're going, how their progress is, every guinea pig is different. I might have some chicken wire, which I do have, I'll show you in the next part of this video. I might like make that bit a bit bigger. Next time they're ready, make that bit a bit bigger. And bigger and bigger and bigger until the whole garden is theirs. So it'll be a step-by-step progress, and so that I know that by the time the whole garden is open, they will be fully trained. So I know exactly what I'm doing this time, and this guinea pig, so by the time the cage is all like open and they have the whole garden, the whole front yard to themselves, they would have already looked up to Chocolate Bullet and Squeak and already followed them around everywhere. They already would have had a good relationship, and they already would have been fully trained. While they're being trained, they'll have boundaries. They'll have chicken wire and all that sort of thing. And we'll have rocks holding the chicken wire down and that sort of thing. It is possible that guinea pigs can escape from chicken wire, but then that's when the training will hopefully kick in. And if one of them does escape, Chocolate Bullet and Squeak will escape, and they will know how to guide them, hopefully. But that's very unlikely for them to be able to escape from the chicken wire. And if it does, then the chicken wire would have spread out a lot, and they would have already been trained a lot. So if it does, it'll probably work out anyway. So either way, this plan is foolproof, okay? So if you want to sell a guinea pig to me, or for some reason, I don't know why you're watching this video, anyone can be watching this video for any reason. You could be wondering what you want to do with your guinea pigs. You know, if you just got your backyard thing and you want to train your guinea pigs, you want to get some advice, or if you do want to sell me some guinea pigs, or whatever you want to do. Yeah, it's foolproof. And so now I'm going to show you my 2 other cages and my chicken wire. I'm going to show you that room. So this is where we keep the unused cages. This is where we keep that wood that I talked about to make the other cage fox-proof if I wanted to get other guinea pigs. So yeah, this is my 2 other cages. You may not be able to see it right now, but there's one cage on top of the other. They're big. They're not fox-proof, but they're just kind of your average pet shop cages, you know, pretty small. We mainly use them for transport, or when the guinea pigs are traveling to places that, yeah. If I found a place with a lot of grass and decided to give the guinea pigs an interesting day, then that's what we do with these cages. They used to be life cages when I was about 8. Now I'm 17. So the first cage. So see this cage? This cage we found at a garage. We just picked up because it's bigger than our other cage. Other cage under that one. That was our very first cage for our very first guinea pigs. I was 8. I did not know that cage isn't suitable for guinea pigs. Now I do. This is all the chicken wire that I have. Right? So that is how I would make the boundaries. And if you can see, under that chicken wire is the second part of this cage here. So, chicken wire, and 2 other cages. So chicken wire could also be used as like playpens, all sorts of things. We did use the chicken wire for a bit, and that when we were trying to train one guinea pig, and yeah. So that's what we use the chicken wire for, and we will use it again when we want to train a new guinea pig. So that is what the other cages are like if I need them. And that's where the wood is kept as well. So that's what life is like for my guinea pigs at the moment. They have 3 cages out here in the front yard, and 2 backup cages, and a lot of chicken wire, and this playpen as well. I only have 2 guinea pigs at the moment. If this thing changes like at all, I'll make another video. Of course, if I move these cages because the grass runs out, obviously I won't make a whole other video saying, I've moved the cage. But if I get other guinea pigs, or or if I move the cages, or anything like that, like I add in another cage, and I want to tell you the reason, or I got this new cage and like really want to recommend it, or something like that, I'll let you guys know. Even if it's something to do with training. But right now, this is what my yard looks like, and what it's like for my guinea pigs to live here. So, see ya!